So let's talk about yesterday. I wanted to talk about only one topic, but I can't. Yesterday was an amazing night for basketball, and that's more than amazing, it was impressive. Joel Embiid scored 70 points. 70 points. Karl Anthony Towns dropped 44 points in one quarter and 62 for the game. And KD went and say dropped the game winner. Tatum and Brown combined for like 72 points. Um, like Luca had like a 30-point triple double. Giannis had a 30-point triple double, and it was just one of the weirdest and most fun things that I've seen in a while. So first, I want to say shout out to yesterday. It was the same day. It was the anniversary of when Kobe, scored 81. I do want to say that shout out to yesterday's basketball, and shout out to Victor Wembanyama because he got 70 points dropped on his head. I thought that was amazing, if I'm being honest. Apart from that, I do want to say that it was pretty amazing to see Joel Embiid drop 70. I feel like we don't see that much in the NBA. Well, obviously not, but we don't see these types of like big performances and these like real, just like what just happened type of ordeals happen anymore. And in my opinion, I do believe that even though a game like this was coming, the fact that it was Joel who did it is honestly, I think, more impressive. The reason why is because Joel Embiid is number one running for MVP. I feel like he's unanimous right now. I would give him the MVP. I think he's the best player on the best, doing the best things, averaging the best stats, and I just firmly believe that he's the MVP. With this being said, dropping 70 on Victor Wembanyama is pretty amazing. He ended the game with 70 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. So he had a great assist to turnover ratio, 58.5% from the field, basically 59% from the field and 50% from three. What I do want to say is that he shot 23 shots inside the arc. Well, he didn't shoot 23 shots. He made 23 shots inside the arc, which is honestly pretty amazing. As for a guy who is so versatile, shoots so many mid-rangers, scores so much, it is crazy to see a guy who could shoot that much from inside with the percentage that he shot it at. Apart from this, we saw him shoot 2 threes, and in my opinion, this was the highlight stat of the day. Joel Embiid dropped 70 points, meanwhile making 1 3-pointer. And before you talk about free throws, I don't care what you say. Obviously, when someone is scoring 70, they're going to get fouled a lot. It happens to a lot of players, right? And in my opinion, you can't get mad at the player. You got to hate the game because when Joel Embiid was making his shots, he was getting and ones and having one of the, highest percentages for the free throw at 90%. With this win alone, his average for the season got upped 1 point to 76. And even though I do believe that it was a great performance, I do want to say that shout out to Victor Wembanyama for making this possible. I do believe that it would have not been him and his lack of strength. We had been talking about that Joel Embiid was going to cook him and that Giannis was going to cook him, but Joel Embiid actually did cook him and made him look like dinner, if we're being 1,000% honest. So then, other things that happened yesterday. Karl Anthony Towns dropped 62 on a loss. I do believe that he did get a phantom call in the end, and still he lost, which was I think kind of stupid. It's like I do believe that Cat is one of the best players in the game, but to be able to drop 62 on a loss is kind of impressive by itself for just the sheer amount of consistency that you have to have for being trash. I'm sorry, but even though the Timberwolves are good, there's no way you can choke that badly when you've dropped 62 points and when he was on pace to score more than Joel Embiid. Now, of course, I know that there are levels to this shit, but shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, the Dominican. He is honestly pretty great. He had a great game. I'm honestly kind of bummed that he didn't win. Apart from this, we have guys like Tatum and Brown, which absolutely demolished the Mavericks when the Mavericks only had Luka, which scored a 30-point triple double. But the Celtics got it done, and they have a great record right now, being one of the best teams. Being the best team in the league. Apart from all of this, I do want to say that the KD game was also very impressive yesterday. KD dropped 43 points. 43, but apart from having 43, the most impressive thing that he did was hit that game winner over the Bulls. It was an amazing mid-ranger, which he just hit with so much calm and patience. I do believe that there should be some respect put on his name because honestly, let's face it, even if KD and the Suns had to come back from down 23 points to win that game, in the end, they managed to get it done in the best way possible. Apart from that, I do want to say that the Cavaliers have won 8 straight, which is pretty phenomenal. I just wanted to compliment them for that. And totaling everything up, I do want to say that Embiid with those 5 assists could have probably scored 80. Let's just be honest. Finally, I want to say one thing. This Joel Embiid game was great, but I think it's showing a new era and a new way of playing basketball in the NBA. I believe that this started and this was highlighted in the Olympics last year when we saw that the best basketball players in the world weren't hustling for rebounds, were being lazy on defense, and we're not really doing anything to conducive to being great, to being great in every level. And I do believe that the style of basketball is changing. The NBA right now, as everyone points out, is more offensively led. There are a lot of more points being scored, and scoring is way more important than defense now. I do believe that this is good and bad. It creates a more fun product, but it's also removing from the integrity of the game as a whole side of basketball is being diminished due to the fact that offense is just so much easier. With that, I don't think that it's the player's fault. Neither do I think it's necessarily basketball's fault because it's a mix of two things. Apart from the rules always being more pushed towards offense, offense, the only thing they can't do is cheat. But they could get away with much more, an extra step apart from the 2 that you're supposed to get. They go and they make sense of themselves with flashier moves which are not legally illegal, and carries which are now not penalized as much due to the way that they've defended it with the ball and how it lands in your hand and the way that you dribble and whatever. But so I do believe that just playing basketball is more offensively led now. But I do believe that we have some great players in the NBA. With that being said, I wanted to talk about that because it's been a complete revolution. And yesterday, especially when the third player in 2 years, a year, dropped 70 points. In a calendar year, 3 players dropped 70 points. There's no way we should be speaking about the NBA not being completely different. Apart from this, I also wanted to say this is what Joel looks like when he goes 100%. I do believe that Joel holds back a lot of himself, tries to get his team a win, and then leaves the game. But when Joel Embiid actually plays to the level that he's supposed to play, this is what he looks like. Also, that Embiid is strong. Very, very, very strong player.